So when we look at life, and most life coaches will know this, there's this like wheel of life, right? So there are different areas of your life, different areas that all matter, and all matter and all contribute to health. And when business is going well, when the money is flowing, what I believe happens is we're able to pour into these facets of our life unconditionally, and with the safety of knowing that I can do this and there's no fear to do so. And what happens when we go through a slow time or a dip is that safety gets taken away and we feel like we can't pour into these other areas of our life, and we fixate on it. But I want you to anchor into the version of you whose business is thriving. Money is the least interesting thing. It's just the thing that's saying to you, hey, yes, what you're doing is working, and it's just an external thing, right? It's just an external, almost like validator. But in life, if we only ever rely on the external to feel safe in our internal environments, we will always feel that sense of fear, that sense of how am I going to do this when income or when business cash flow isn't where we think it should be. It's just one part of our life, and yet when it doesn't go well, we don't fixate all of our energy. We fixate all of our energy on it. And then it starts to consume us, and then we start to go into this doom spiral of, oh my gosh, everything's failing. I'm a failure and all of this. And we start to make it mean things about ourselves that then therefore take away our confidence to show up and do the things that we have been doing anyway to create the results. All we can ever control in life, and as much as marketers and sell and these business gurus will tell you, and I will tell you, as much as we can try to control and facilitate the environment for an outcome to happen, we can only ever control our inputs, because there is a human on the other side, or there are other circumstances on the other side, so other things at stake. That means that the outcome is not controlled. The outcome is actually out of our control. You can do all of the things right by the textbook and things won't go to plan. And that's just life. When we look at chronic illness, for example, first of all, when our health goes downhill, no matter where it is, right? No matter who we are, when our health goes downhill, that becomes everything. That becomes a fixator. And the reason that things usually spiral is because we start to fixate and start to blame and start to look for the things that we did wrong, and we go and spiral and dig deep and down, and we start to create this evidence trove of things that we're not doing right, and we start to blame ourselves, and I truly think that our internal environment creates our external environment, because reality is just how we perceive it. And if we are perceiving our internal reality to be this poop storm that's just blowing up, and you're just a negative Nancy all day, your external environment, no matter how good certain aspects are, you're not going to notice it. You could be having the worst day and it could be a beautiful sunny day. The sun hasn't changed. Or you could be having a great day and the sun could be out. The sun hasn't changed. The clouds haven't changed. And you can even fluctuate between the two feelings during the same day. What changes is how we perceive those things. When we're upset, instead of noticing the sun and how bright and how full of life and just how much of a gift it is to human life, instead of focusing on that, we start to go, oh, it's so hot. Or we start to focus on the things that aren't going right. And then we start to create problems, internal chaos that needs to be externalized. That's why disease is dis-ease in our bodies, because it's internal chaos that we create that we don't process and that we spiral, that we allow to spiral, right? Whether that's because, like, for example, in a health and fitness context, the internal chaos could be signs pointing that we need to take care of our body, but we let it spiral because we let other things take precedent. We let other things take away from it. We make excuses for ourselves. And then it spirals, and then that's when disease presents itself.